The following is a fan-based discussion. All properties discussed are property of Toei Inc., Bandai, Hasbro, and Subaru Productions. Hello everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Tokucast Reviews, episode number 194. Marcus and Jacob here to discuss...
a disappointment. Ultraman Ace exists, I'm mad about it, and I'm mad where the show went. Let's talk about the opening. It's a show opening, skipping it.
I kind of like it.
It exists.
I thought it was okay. I like that part.
It's no 7.
No, nothing is 7, Denzi Man. We can put that in a category all of its own.
I did not feel that when it comes to this show. The more I watched this show, the more disappointed I got, especially after episode 28. This show became standard. When it was fun.
Oh, boy. So, where would you like to start then?
The show is bullshit. Yeah. I was just so mad. It starts off so...
From the word go.
Interesting.
From the word go. I wasn't even 10 minutes into the first episode, and I texted you and I'm like, we have so much to talk about.
I think a big issue with a lot of these early, especially the earlier Ultraman, is that they set themselves up so fast.
This one sets itself up oh so fast, as in, it's just like, it is a peaceful day on planet Earth. And then the aliens attacked!
That's really what it was.
It reminds me of that Powerpuff Girls episode of The City of Townsville is under attack!
Oh yeah, when it just flashes to the
And it just flashes to a monster. And that's pretty much what happens. And then it's like, this is Hokuto Seiji. He is a bread driver. He is driving to the orphanage to deliver bread to the orphanage. And I'm like, right off the bat, we are just getting like the schlockiest of schlock. Just a monster is destroying the town. People are dying. Buildings are exploding. People are running for their lives, fearing for their lives. And then we just cut to him going, oh boy, I hope the orphans can get their bread.
And then we cut to a hospital where Minami Yuko is a nurse.
Apparently they know each other. And then he is like, I shall save...
We either cut to a hospital or we cut to the orphanage proper.
It's like a hospital. Maybe the orphanage is connected. Who knows? But either way, he runs into the nurse, Miss Yuko. She's like trying to get some people to safety, and then he finds a gasoline truck
and drives it into the monster.
Which
is badass,
and kind of deters, which admittedly does work in deterring
somehow,
but.
He doesn't die here. They die together later. And then the Ultra brothers come down from the sky.
No, that happens right after the explosion. It's just very badly edited. Here's the thing. She is like, admittedly, I think this shot is cool, where it's like a POV shot of like him driving, but it's like, we're low on the miniature set driving towards like the kaiju, so it's like they have like the camera low and we're driving towards the suit actor's feet. It's admittedly really cool. There's some really good miniature work, especially in the first episode. And he drives the truck to the monster. The truck explodes with him inside it. He should have been, charred to a crisp and reduced to ashes.
Or a little bit of Hokuto over there, a little bit over here.
There, maybe some over there, some of the monster's toenails, who knows? But that doesn't happen, no. Also, we then cut to, right after the explosion, we cut to him and Yuko right next to each other with like little scuff marks on them, and they're dead. She was nowhere near him when that explosion happened. And that explosion would not have left a body. It's just very poorly edited.
And you can say that for a lot of scenes in this show, because Jesus Christ. For the first 28 episodes, there are really a lot of good things in this show that honestly do like. I like the fact that Yapul is there as an overarching villain who is constantly sending in these terrible monsters. You know what it reminded me of?
What's that?
It's a better version of Rider 71. Where it's like the overlords in this case are really a lot more involved in the things that are happening and, try to infiltrate and things of that nature. Episode 3 is still wild with the kid who died prior to in a car accident with his parents, and like he ends up getting possessed by an evil, terrible monster, and he ends up going to go live with his grandparents. They think he's the only one still alive, and then his grandparents get killed in the episode. This kid's entire family gets wiped out in this. It's wild because it's not something that you really end up seeing in a show like this. This ends up bringing up a major point that I have against this show.
What's that?
We don't believe you. Aliens.
That happens a lot.
It's so... you've seen some wild shit at your time at TAC, and you don't believe these people who are seeing cracks in reality and there's a monster in there. You're thinking that the heat is somehow affecting them when they see an asteroid come down, but it's not there anymore. What is wrong with you?
There was a lot of that, and even amongst TAC, there was a lot of like, it's like Seiji will see something and they'll be like, "What are you talking about? You're crazy." It's like, guys, you fight giant monsters for a living.
On a daily basis.
Give him the benefit of the doubt. It's possible he saw something.
Meanwhile, you're out here gaslighting the hell out of this man. No gatekeep, no girl boss. Just gaslight. And it's just so annoying. The more that they do, they stop doing it a little bit. But the beginning of this show, when they're sort of there to fight aliens and things of that nature, the fact that they do not believe him, in episode 3, they really end up doing this because they gaslight the hell out of Yuko when she sees the monster initially. It's annoying. And I think this is one of those things that pervades throughout the rest of the series in some form or another. When Yapul finally comes down, because I do like one of my favorite episodes, in all honesty, is when they ended up having the one with the other lady who's on the team. And she ends up going to her friends from high school's house. Wild episode, by the way. This show has so many good moments, but those moments end up getting so overshadowed by poor decision making and them getting rid of Yuko part of the way through the show.
Talk about a good idea that they do absolutely nothing with. The idea, this is the first time we've ever had an Ultra that requires 2 people to transform.
Also, the first one that has a female.
Yeah. But we never get to hear or see them internally work together about it. It's just like, he's over there, she's over there. They get together, they touch their rings together.
Ultra dodge!
Yeah.
They can fly for some reason.
They can fly. Granted, there are some pretty cool set pieces that they do with it where it's like, one of them's in a plane that's like spiraling out of control. The other one jumps out of a plane and they have to the other one has to eject and they have to meet in midair to touch their rings together and then they can transform.
TAC must spend a lot on planes with how often they get shot down.
There are a lot of shot down planes. But looking into the this is why we need more behind the scenes stuff about this stuff.
They have a lot of notes when it comes to Ultraman's production over the years, and it's
particularly I was interested in the case of Yuko.
Yeah.
According to her actress,
she didn't know.
She was like, "Oh yeah, I got my pages that day when I came into work," and then it was like, "Yeah, you're not going to be in the show anymore." And like later, she has said like, "Oh, but I wasn't a good performer. I don't think I was a good actress. I don't think I did well enough."
She was honestly probably one of the better ones in this show.
And I think that's why they got rid of me. One of the head producers had said, "Well, yeah, it was like a guy and a girl who had to do the transformation, and girls didn't watch Ultraman, or like we perceived they didn't watch it."
No, it wasn't that, because it got them that audience. The issue was the fact that they couldn't come up with any new ways for 2 people to be in danger at the same time, so they got rid of one of them.
I'm going by what I read. But,
yeah, that was on here.
But yeah, it's like it's all anecdotal evidence from people over the years, and the fact that like writers kept coming and going. There were like head writers who was on for like a few days. And I guess he gave him a couple of notes and outlines, and then he just left. And then another guy came in, and just like they were constantly changing writers. And as a result, none of the characters feel like there's any kind of meaningful connection between any of them.
In episode when
Yuko says goodbye to everyone,
it just happens.
It just happens, and I don't feel any reason to be sad because we never feel like there's any kind of connection between these characters. It's all very superficial.
And the characters end up feeling like they keep going in and out of their own characterization. Episode 9 is the worst.
Episode 9.
I couldn't believe what I was seeing.
So there's episode 9, there was a journalist. It's the kaiju's ability in this one is it can, if you take a picture of it, it will go inside the photo.
It's basically a goddamn weeping angel.
Yeah, and if you print the photo, then it will it can copy itself.
Yeah.
And thus many kaijus can be around. So a journalist takes a picture of it and is like, I'm going to get the best story because I'm the best journalist. You can't tell me what to do because she's a sassy, spunky lady. And instead of I don't know, listening or explaining this to her, what's the name of the other guy in this episode? Kokoro or something like that?
Yeah, he's the big guy on the team. Whoever, I honestly
he's a husky
really
man.
Goro is the captain. Noriko's the other woman. Ichiro's annoying. Tsutomu.
Yeah,
Kono.
Kono. That's I knew it started with a K. Kono, who just like the fact that she fat shames him, very much not okay.
And then Hokuto comes in and slaps her.
Yeah, our main character hits a woman. Our main character hits a woman because she is annoying him. He comes to her apartment. Kono is there, trying to bargain to get the picture back. Because, we need that. It's evidence. You can't do that. And she's just like, no, you can't tell me. Freedom of the press, blah, blah, blah. I'm a sassy lady. You can't tell me what to do. And then Hokuto goes in and just starts screaming at her, give us the photo back, give it back. And she's just getting on his nerves. And the scene ends with him just slapping her.
And her crying. I paused the episode at that point because I just couldn't believe it. I'm sitting here looking at this this wasn't okay then, and it ain't okay now. What is happening?
What kind of message are you trying to send to children?
It was...
If someone annoys you, hit them. It's okay to hit someone if they're annoying you.
It was the worst. I'm just
it's awful, yeah.
This is an episode... It has no future implications because she doesn't show up again.
No, she does not.
I'm just
but it does have future implications because this isn't the last time he does this. There is a later episode where it's the one with the pyramid.
Yeah. And
the one lady who's like, I'm going to get in the pyramid or whatever.
She's an alien.
She's an alien, whatever. And she's like, I'm going to get in the pyramid, blah, 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 blah. And it's he gets in a shouting match her and it ends with him smacking her, slapping her across the face. And she's just, and just looking, and they just kind of stare sternly at each other afterwards. And she's like, you're right, I will not go in the pyramid. It worked. You texted me saying episode 9 is awful, and I was like, well, I wonder what this is going to be. And then I watched it, and then I texted you, oh no.
Them getting rid of you. Okay. I feel like this is really enough
she's a moon person.
She's a moon person for some reason out of nowhere.
Which is a thing now.
It's the way...
And now Ultraman only can transform by himself. He doesn't need anybody else.
She gives her ring to him. The Ultraman Ace gave them. I feel like this was W, but 40 years earlier. But they couldn't figure out a way to make that work.
As someone who just watched Futo PI recently, I think it still works there. I think they're still able to do interesting things with W. And
I think the reason I say it is because just 2 become 1.
Yeah, it's the 2 become 1. This is the first time this has happened, yeah.
In W's case, a lot of that time, he's within, the PI place for a good portion of it.
Yeah.
And they just could not figure out a way to make it so it could have just been one of them or they trade off or something like that could have been a much more interesting concept.
And also, as I was saying earlier, we never get any internals about it. We never get any conversation.
Well, that was the thing they started to release.
I know, but you can still do it. You're the ones writing the story.
Yeah, they could have. Ace is violent.
The show is extremely violent.
But only up until a certain point, because then it becomes Proto-Taro.
Which means it becomes more kid-friendly.
The kid starts showing up left and right.
There is a moment where I texted you after that. I think I was watching episode 30 or 31, and I thought to myself, this child character has been in several episodes now.
Can he stop?
Is he going to be in the rest of the show? And then I check the wiki, I check his character entry.
He's up there till episode 40.
And it had the list of episodes he was in, and I was just like, oh no.
Really enough.
This is the rest of the show?
Really enough.
Ultraman and the kids? Oh no.
I liked him when he first showed up because he had hands for every single kid who called him a liar. And I really enough appreciated that because he never lied. But the most annoying thing about it was the fact that he stuck around instead of being a one-off character.
He's there all the time.
He's not that interesting. He gets dropped at episode 43. It's just like, why were you here to begin with if there was no payout to your character?
No, but we still have the children around. There are still plenty of children.
They're so annoying.
Because the final episode ends with Ultraman and the children of Earth the children of wherever, maybe it's the orphanage, they're bidding him goodbye. And Ultraman is pointed to them and saying, do your homework, eat your vegetables, stay in school, be nice to foreigners. That's literally one of the things he tells them.
Here comes my other brother.
Is be nice to people from other countries.
Here's my brother, Taro, to really just drive home the fact that this is now a kid's show. And then here comes our other brother, who's by adoption.
I love how this is this the first appearance of Father of Ultra?
Yes.
I love how you know what the first thing he does?
Beat somebody's ass?
No, dies. The very first thing Father of Ultra does is die.
This show is the one that really expands on the mythos of Ultraman.
Also true.
Which I can appreciate. However, you made Father of Ultra a bitch. Next season,
I genuinely got excited when he showed up because it was like this. It's like we're doing some like Evangelion stuff where we're crucifying the other Ultras. We've taken them
because Subarai's son was a Catholic, and man, does it show for a lot because
I was like, this is some Hideaki Anno Evangelion stuff here. Working through some religious trauma.
It happened in Nexus too, so crosses end up showing up a lot in Ultra. Yeah. But the main thing is just like, but then it's just like Father of Ultra arrives. Oh, this is going to be great. He's going to beat the monster. He's going to help Ace. He might give him a power up. This is going to be great. Father of Ultra shows up and immediately gets killed. But it's kind of like a Mothra thing where it's like I die and I use my power remaining essence to transfer that to you. You now have enough power to kill the monster. And then he frees his brothers, and hooray. They take Ultra Father back to the Land of Light, and then he comes back resurrected later on during Santa time.
Yep.
This is, like you said, this is the first appearance of Father of Ultra. Mother of Ultra shows up in Taro. Ultra King shows up in Leo. So, these are really the mythos expanding. You know, we finally have the Ultra Brothers and things like that. Although, I don't think Leo was one of them. Leo's not, because there were 5 at that point. And
he's Ultra Play Cousin.
He's Ultra Adoption. Actually, one of them is actually already adopted too. But it's Taro and then Leo and his brother Astra, which we'll get to when we get into that show. And it's weird because we go from Ace being violent as hell to not being nearly as violent, where he just ends up using his beam a lot. And then we go to Taro, which is the kid's show.
Ace will decapitate you, cut off your limbs, and then blow you up with the L shot.
And then also punch a hole through you.
Which it's never enough for Ace. He has to confirm the kill.
And then Leo comes in and just like, I murder all the things. But Taro happens in between those two.
Efficiency.
And the way I'm not excited to watch that show. But this show is messy.
Yep.
In a lot of very bad ways.
Mm-hmm.
It's a lot more interesting before Yuko leaves.
Mm-hmm.
Like the one episode with the guy who was dressed up and it was like abducting kids.
Yes,
that episode was really good.
With the old man and
yes.
the writer for that the director for that episode, or was it the writer? It was somebody behind the scenes is like, yeah, I used my experience of surviving World War II and brainwashing,
yes,
and things like just like the brainwashing of youth during World War II with propaganda. And I'm going to use that experience to create this episode.
Like telling them that the ocean is yellow when it's in fact blue.
Yeah.
And it was seeing the kids at the end of that episode flying down after they became like stars in the sky.
Yeah, because they all get taken, they get like abducted into space and become stars. And
this is a worldwide thing.
The fact that it ends and it's just like a rain of children floating slowly down to Earth.
Such a amazing
It's a freaky image and it works.
It's really good.
Yeah.
And then the show stops being good. Man, oh man.
It's a case of that one great episode that's in a otherwise mediocre show.
Yeah. And it's weird because Ace has a couple of really good episodes. The one where your pool finally comes down. I wish they would have done more with Ace Killer. He shows up in one episode, dies. Just like, I feel like you could have done something a little bit better with all the ultra signs and all of that good jazz.
Yeah.
This show isn't good.
Yes. We've established that.
No, Leo is a brother, actually. Yeah, because he's number 7. He was the 7th one in Medius.
Okay. Well, that is cleared up. Anything else you would like to say?
No.
Well, then join us for our next review, where we will be reviewing Kamen Rider Outsiders.
Yes! And then we'll be doing the last Sentai thing, full show they had to review. We do have a lot of movies and stuff that we're going to go back and do, just to give us some breathing room on some weeks.
Yes.
But we're doing 5-man.
Yes, Kamen Rider Outsiders and then 5-man.
Oh boy.
Chiku Sentai 5-man.
Oh boy. Still love those suits, though. Still love those suits. Do not like this show, though. I would honestly say, if you're going to watch Ultraman Ace...
Don't.
No. Stop at episode 28. It's interesting up to that point. And then it stops being interesting. It becomes Taro. It becomes Proto Taro.
Which is the next Ultra we review.
Yeah. So excited. So we can join us all the things. We'll see you next time. Bye, everybody.
Thank you for watching.